Hi guys, it's Whiskey Wednesday. Woohoo! How are you all today? I am still getting things ready. Story of my life, right guys? But I have a really fun project for today. I didn't make sure that I was in my camera view. We should be. We should be fine. Fine. How's everyone? Looks like we have a few on already, Wilson. Wilson is finishing up outside. It looks like Lynn is here from Texas, DIY. And Gert says, hello, Connie and Wilson. Hello, DIY, says Gert also. Right off the bat, Wilson.
I'm getting there. They can find you.
Marla from Rust to Roses says, hi, everyone. Hey, Marla. Dodie says, good, even I, and evening. Good evening, Dodie. How are you? Brenda says, hello, guys, from Imperial, Missouri. Welcome, Brenda. Carrie says, looking good from here, Connie and Wilson. Thanks, Carrie from Australia. And Stephanie says, hello, Connie and Wilson, DIY. DIY, Stephanie. We used to have someone from Australia, and what was her name? Kat. I haven't heard from Kat in a while. She must be sleeping. Judy says, hello, and DIY, Wilson. DIY, Judy. So tonight we have kind of an easy project, kind of a fun, something different. So this is just a gallery frame. It is normally from, looks like a Hobby Lobby kind of thing. $12.99 was the original price. And at the thrift store, I think I paid like 98 cents for it or something like that. I painted the face of it white to cover up the writing that was on there. And then I did leave the sides black. I'm not sure if I will leave them black or if I'll change them, but I needed a white surface on the front. And then we have all kinds of scrap paper, ephemeral. We are going to do some kind of like a mixed media project. And then we're going to put one of these resin pumpkins on it. Last year, we made these pumpkins on a live. On a Whiskey Wednesday, we made these pumpkins. They are made with resin and, let me get it. And the DIY making powders.
Kelly says, hi, Connie and Wilson, DIY. Sandy says, hi, Connie and Wilson, happy DIY.
Ooh, lots of people joining.
Carol says, evening all, DIY, Connie and Wilson.
Wow, we got lots of people on. So this is the wrong color. Let me get the right color. Let's get the right color. So this is Orange You Glowed. Aren't you glowed? Aren't you glad? Orange You Glad? So I put the making powder, I dust the mold with the making powder. And then I dusted it with the green. So here I dusted it with the orange, and then the leaves I did green. I made my own brown for the stem. And then I made sure that my dust was a little heavier in the creases. And so that's that one. Then here's this one that I took my brown dust that I made with the DIY dark dust. And I think it was the red. Was it the red making powder? Anyway, I made a darker rusty color, and then I just put that into the creases of the mold. So you just dust it all, and then you put it in, you leave the mold sit, don't dump it off, just leave it, and then put your resin in. So this is the white resin. It is not clear. And then when you pour the resin over top, it takes 10 minutes to dry. So you pour the resin over the top, and then when you pull it out of the mold, all the making powder, the DIY making powder, will be on your mold. And it's not coming off. It's not coming off at all. So then I dark waxed this one. So now this one is really dark in all the creases, and it looks so good. Like, this is what it comes like out of the mold. And then this one I dark wax. So I will link that video from, it's on YouTube, and it's on, well, it's probably not on Facebook anymore. So I'm going to have to link the YouTube. So you can go and see how I made those.
Bobby said, "Fit, my friends."
Fit, my friends.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And Tina says, "Hello, Connie Wilson." Oh, that dust is so cute.
I know, that dust is amazing for putting in your molds. DIY. Because I think that's what Bobby tried to say.
I think so.
Kelly says, hi, Connie and Wilson read that one. Susan says, hello, Connie and Wilson. Christy is from Salisbury, Maryland. Welcome, welcome, Christy. And Wilson read that one from Sandy. He also read Carol's. Dee says, hi, everyone. Hello, Dee. Carrie says, everything you DIY, I sip my coffee. It's a wee bit early for whiskey here. I'm sure it is. Judy said, so much fun. It is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun to put the making powders into your molds. If you need any making powders, I have them on my website. You can go and grab them there. Hello, it's great to Toby. Hello, it's great to be. I don't know what you're trying to say, Lisa. Help me out. Carrie says, everything not sorry. Everything, what did she say? Oh, everything is not sorry. Okay, good. And Lisa says, hello. Dodie says it's only 4:34 here, so perfect for DIYs. It's actually 6:30 here, so it's perfect for DIYs here. Carrie says, OMG every time. And Amy says, where's your sweatshirt? Amy, it's probably one of my only days where I haven't got my sweatshirt out. Tina says, hello, Connie and Wilson. Oh, that dust is so cool. Yes, it is. Sonnet says, hey, girl, DIY. I'm drinking along with you. Old-fashioned time. Sweet, Sonnet. And gold dust would be pretty, too. That's a great idea. I don't have any gold because DIY doesn't have gold, but that would be fantastic. Lori says, hello, DIY neighbors. Hey, Lori. Jody says, hey, Connie and Wilson. And Lisa says, hello, Whiskey Wednesday. Woo! You guys are chatty tonight. I got to get working. And Denise is here and from Northern Michigan. Hello, Denise. And Lori says, happy DIY. I'm reading Wilson's. I got to let him have a job. All right, I have to add my other camera to the stage, and then Wilson gets his job back. So we have this gallery board, and we're going to put mixed media on here, but we're going to make mixed media really different, probably something that you're not used to. So I don't need that for a bit. I need this. So this is a bunch of scraps that I have. Bunch of scrap papers. I only pulled out certain ones. I didn't really know what I wanted. Here's a bunch of papers. And then I have some textures right here that we're going to use in a little bit. And then I have, this is my sticky, I don't even know what you want to call this. It's a sticky back silicone pad so that I don't decoupage my paper to my surface. So these papers are from the jelly plate. So I'm going to put jelly plate papers here that are on the jelly paper. And then we're going to put decoupage papers over here, rice papers over here, text, decoupage, 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 text, 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 and decoupage. Okay. I needed to have those all separated because these are see-through. So I'm only going to use those when I'm working at the end. And then these are kind of see-through. So I'm only going to use these in certain locations. I might have to paint them white or something like that. So I know I want this piece right here. I specifically pulled that piece out and I want that piece. So that's going to go here. We're making a new piece of paper, okay? We're making a brand new piece of paper. So I'm going to move it over here. And then I'm going to take, like I have all of these book pages that I have. Here's from one of the back porch, the very first back porch. This is one of my rice papers that we have right now. My August back porch is up right now. I should have got, let me grab one. So when you get the back porch, you get this whole stack of stuff. And I have a couple rice papers in here. And look at this one for August. Isn't that so cool? That is with pastels. Let me bring you in a little closer. That is made with pastels. That's from me. This is a painting that, a print that I had found, a really, really old print, and then I added a background to it. And then this, whoops, let's go this way. This is a paper that I made, just like I'm going to teach you right now. So when you get my back porch, you can make this same technique. And then I have a piece of parchment paper that will work the same as this silicone pad. And then you can use that. But this paper, just, I love it. I love, love, love it. And then you get all kinds of ephemeral that goes with it. You get a piece of wallpaper, textured wallpaper. You get a bird napkin, some other little papers. So it's all a fantastic little packet of stuff that I'm not going to be able to get back in here. Oh yeah, I can. And then you can make your own exactly like we're making it right now. Someone told me, what do you do with all this stuff in your back porch collection? So that's what I'm doing here is I'm going to show you what I do with it. So this piece of paper I know I want. This one's another bird on here. I don't know where I want him yet. We're going to rip some of these. And so we're going to, I'm going to rip it this way also, and then I'm going to put this over the top of that. Nope, I'm going to put it up here a little bit. Okay, so what I need is my liquid patina. I didn't open this up. Can't get it open. Wilson, help me. Wilson's gotta help me. You just hurt their eardrums, Wilson. And then we're also going to use this golden heavy gel matte medium because I love it so much. So we have the liquid patina and we have the heavy gel matte medium. So now I'm going to glue this piece of paper right on here. And then I'm going to find another one and I'm going to glue it here. And then I just keep picking it up so that I don't, whoops. I need some heavy gel. You can tell when you need heavy gel because it just will not stick. And then the heavy gel will hold it down. Then I have this piece of paper right here. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to use the wet tear method on this one because it is rice paper. So it has a few more fibers in it. Well, I suppose I could have stuck it underneath that one, but we're going to go on top. And I'm going to stick that right like that. And then I have another piece of this paper. So I'm going to put that down here.
Claudia, hello. Thank you for sharing. I've learned so much.
Excellent. All right, so we're making a whole new master board. I don't like how this is really plain over here. So I'm going to add a little bit over here. Whoops, that's two pieces. Perfect. And I'm not even worried about, like, this has a little bit of white space right here. Does not bother me whatsoever. All right, now we need some more up here. We need to make this piece of paper. I always try and have my papers so the writing is the right side. This is the fun part. Don't overthink it. Just do it. Just put the papers together. Because what we're going to do with this after, you're not going to believe it. It's going to blow you away. You wouldn't even think. So we're going to slice him right there. We might use some of this. So let's grab that. So all I'm doing to rip this rice paper so it has a little organic feel to it is I'm putting water on it and then I can tear it. Now I'm going to pick that up a little bit so I can get under there. This is where it's not sticking. Take your heavy gel matte medium and it won't come back off, I promise.
Lori Henderson, paint on this or use it for junk journal?
You can do either. So we're going to use it for mixed media for that pumpkin that I just showed you. So you can use it in your junk journal or you can use it on a project. So we're going to use it kind of both ways. Hey, Tana, welcome, welcome.
Amy says hi, everyone.
Hello, Amy. All right, we're going to stick this in here. So I'm going to stick that up there. Like I said, this, you do not want to overthink it. Just put them down. Don't know if they look good together. Don't worry about it. We got this whole new sheet of paper. I do want to do something with some of this over here. So I have a couple more strips. So let's make another strip right here. We're just going to put that strip down. And then I have a textbook that has green vines on it, green viney stuff on it from the jelly plate. I was going to do the jelly plate, but I think I need to do a video where it's just the jelly plate because there is so much that you can do with the jelly plate. But I do sell them in case anybody wants a jelly plate. I do sell them and they're so fun. I'll have to, that has to be my Whiskey Wednesday some night, teaching you how to use them. All right, let's put this bird up here. I'm going to put it right here. Again, don't overthink it. Lay it down. And then let's grab another sheet. We're actually going to go this way. I normally don't do this, but we're going to. I normally don't put my text sideways, but I know some people do. It's not going to matter. And then we're going to actually go right here with another sheet of text. That's going the right way. And then we have some Rice's paper that is see-through, remember? So we're going to see some of this text through here. So now I'm going to put it on right over the top. And we're going to see some of that text come right through there. And then I want a little bit of this orange, but I don't know where I want to put that yet. So that's going to come in a little bit. We're going to put this little strip here. Then we have a couple more. Let's go for this one right here. Let's make some strips. And we're going to put it right down here. We're making our own masterboard, guys. And then we're going to put it right here. So when we're done with this project, we're going to, obviously this is bigger than my board that I'm going to use it on. So then you can use, you're making a sheet of paper, a whole new sheet of paper. Look at this piece of paper. It's huge. It's so big.
Amy, what are you making?
We're just making a whole new sheet of paper. And I'm going to be using it on a project with a pumpkin. Okay. Then is there anything else? Yes, we wanted these deli plate or deli papers. And now these are going to disappear. So they give you a little bit of color, but they just disappear right over top. So we're going to place it right here. And it's going to give us, it's white, so it's going to give us a little bit of muting right there. So that is pretty. And then I just pick it up again to make sure I'm not sticking. I don't want to stick. And then I have this one. This one is black. So we're going to tear this. And then we have this black, but we're not going to use it all in one. We're going to rip this, and then we're going to add it. Let's add it over there. It's going to be kind of see-through, but it's going to add a little bit of texture in that area. And then let's go over here on this side, and we're going to tear that. We're going to add a little piece over here. This is, don't overthink it. Just put it down. I'm going to put it right over top of that flower, which adds a little bit of texture. I like that. Let's add it right here. All right. Oh, actually, I'm going to grab this piece. I want a little bit of this black up here. Told you not to overthink it. And then what am I doing? I'm overthinking it because I see black here, and I needed some black over here. So we got that. Here's another little piece. This is where you can use up all your pieces and parts that you have. Just lay them down. Okay. We're going to call that good. That is a whole sheet of paper. We just made a sheet of paper. Let me throw some stuff away here, whatever I can. I don't ever throw anything away. So like this little sheet's got some green on it. I can't throw that away. I need that little bit of green. I got green here and green there. Don't have any green over here. Let's put it right there. Okay, now we're gonna do some fun stuff. I didn't put this bird on. I need to put this bird on there. There's a bird there, and there's a bird there. Everywhere a bird, bird. And then I am wet distressing him off. So I'm just taking my wet paintbrush and tearing the ends of him. And I'm going to like make him a little bit smaller. Now, this is why you do it. Let me grab this piece of paper. This is why you do it on this piece of paper, because you can see where you want it. Like you can piece it around and it's gonna like dissolve right in. So since I have the bird there and I have a bird here or here, I have to figure out where I want him. So if I put him up here, I don't like that look. I don't mind him being about right here. So, yep, that I'm gonna wait until I put my pumpkin on or know where my pumpkin's gonna go. But thank you. I pushed that off to the side. I want to know where my pumpkin's gonna go. Bird's the word, yes. I like birds. All right. And he's see-through, so you can see that text back there. There. He like finished that off, didn't he? You could, here's some more pieces of that black. Yeah, you know I can't let it go because I gotta get that black and make sure that it all flows. And this is perfect. So he's black there, he's black here, there. We need some black up here. So we're gonna put that right there. So it didn't really make any sense, did it? Like there's a piece of him there, there, and somewhere else. I thought we had another piece of him. It disappeared. I don't know where it is, but there's no rhyme or reason here. We're just making paper. We're just making another sheet of paper. And why I do it just on this silicone mat is because now it's not too thick. If I would put it on another piece of paper, it'd get really, really thick. I don't want it to be thick. So now it needs to dry. So let me read some comments. You guys can figure out what I'm doing. Oh, I'm back really far. So let's start here. I think we read Lori's. Luann says, happy DIY Wednesday. Yes, Luann, I need one of those DIYs. Jen, the upcycling alchemist, says, hello, Connie DIY. Hi, Jen. Marla says, hi, Jen. Rebecca says, hello. Hello, Rebecca. Carrie says, how is Wilson feeling? Better, I hope. Wilson just came home today and said his cough is getting worse. His throat is getting worse. And he counted the days that he's had it. He's had it for 45 days. So he isn't even halfway to the 100 mark. So he has 100 days to go. Claudia says, hello, Connie. Thank you for sharing. I have learned so much. You're welcome, Claudia. Amy says, love your nail color. Thank you. It needs to be redone. Like, it's almost time. And Wilson read that one. We use it for either. Tana is here with us. Tana made my shirts. I don't have a shirt on because I wore them when I was on vacation and I haven't done laundry yet because it's been a whirlwind. Lynn says, do all your papers have a similar weight? Does it matter? They don't. Like there's rice paper. There's rice paper. There's decoupage paper. There's textbook paper. So all of your different papers, it doesn't really matter. But when you have a deli paper, you're going to be able to see through it. So make sure that you're not putting your see-through paper on the bottom. You want your see-through paper on the top, which is why I did the deli paper over the top. Amy said hi to everyone. Natalie is here. Hi, Natalie. Michelle says, DIY, you're looking a little parched. It's warm. It's warm. Lynn says, you're right, Michelle. I know. I'm like sweating. I was working really hard today. And then this afternoon, I went outside and I did some work outside. So ship your papers to Canada. Dodie, I just was learning from a girl how to do that. So I could possibly ship to Canada. So send me a message at thepaintedphotographer@gmail.com, Dodie, and I'll see if I can figure that out. And Amy says, what are you making? We answered that. Dodie says, is anybody else video shaking or is it on my connection? Oh, I hope it's not shaking. Maybe it was me shaking. Oh, someone else said it's not shaking for her and not shaking for her and not shaking here. Okay, good. It wasn't me. Dodie says, beautiful. Carrie says, DIY, Connie and Wilson, my coffee's getting cold. DIY, Carrie. I'm sorry, I was working. Lynn says DIY. Deborah says your orange strip. Yep, we got to get that in there. Erd's the word. Sharon says hello, Connie. Hello, Sharon. And saying hi to Natalie. Where did you get that mat? Is it just silicone or is it laminate? Brenda, it's from Amazon. I can put my Amazon link in the comments, and you are from YouTube, so you can check the description or the comments when I get off of the live. I can put my affiliate link on there for where I got it. Oh, Marla says, I feel like I'm back at Royce's. Yes, it's kind of the same thing, but it's just really quick, really fast with all your scraps. Dodie says, awesome. She'll send me that. It's 110 here. I can't even go outside. Oh, yeah, it's probably only like 70 something. It wasn't bad. Glad it's not shaking there. Thanks for letting me know. You're welcome. And Brenda said, great, thanks. Okay, now we're going to do something weird to this. So I have to make sure that it's dry. So we're going to give it a dry. But the back porch collection is it's on my website right now. You can order that and get that pastel-y paper in there, which is so fun. This is really pretty paper, but we're going to do something pretty crazy to it. So hang on, because it gets wild. I have to make sure that all my decoupage is dry. And then we're going to get it wet again. But it looks good. It looks good. We could use it already, right? I covered up my G on my garden. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, well. It's okay. We're going to use some weathered wood. Where is my weathered wood? Oh, it's in here. All right, I have some weathered wood right here. And I'm going to use a piece of paper. Can you see my paper there? Let's move it back a little bit this way. Okay. I'm going to grab some weathered wood right here on the piece of paper, and then I'm going to wet it. I'm going to get it nice and wet, nice and runny. And then I'm going to splatter. Actually, I'm going to get it more wet. And I want to really splatter it. It's kind of like dripping on it. And then I'm going to take my lid from my paint. And I'm going to make a couple coffee cup circles. And then I'm going to purposely make some wider areas. And then I'm going to mist it and kind of make everything spread. So what it's doing, it's like staining the paper. And now I can even stain some of these edges. I'm not trying it on purpose to do any of it. I'm just putting some marks down. and then misting it. So you're making your paper look all kinds of different. And then we gotta let that dry. We're gonna force it to dry though. So now that's just a little bit of staining down there. So some of that, we're gonna take a paper towel and dab some of it up to help it dry a little bit. You could either do this or you can leave it dry naturally, whatever you want. And again, make sure it's not sticking. It's not sticking. Royce's paper is getting really wet. Remember, you need to get that wet to open up those fibers. So, DIY. Now it's really getting warm in here because Wilson had to shut the door because we had company. So tomorrow my arts camp starts. I teach all of my campers how to paint a pumpkin. I am so stinking excited. I can hardly wait. And I hope everyone else is too. We're going to have so much fun at camp, learning how to paint pumpkins and just do all kinds of fun stuff, learn about color, learn about techniques, brush strokes, brushes, photography. It's going to be so fun. I had it only for the ones who were on my wait list. And then as soon as I do my first class, and we'll see how it all goes and see how things are rolling, and then I'll open it up again to anyone who's not on the wait list. But all my early campers got in, and that they can't wait. They're pretty excited to get rolling. All right, let's make sure this is dry. Okay, now we're going to use a charcoal pencil. Oh, no, we're not. I have to do a couple other things. I want some white paint. And I want to use this stencil. So this is a Tim Holtz hologram stencil. And I'm just going to make some marks on here with, this is just DIY paint, painting over my stencil and making some marks right there. Isn't that so fun? And then just move it and do a little bit more painting. And then you're going to move it again. This time I laid it sideways. And that was a little wet, but so we have a few more marks there, which is fine. So there's some fun mark making. We're going to do some over here. We're going right over the bird because I don't think I'm going to see that bird anyway. I'm not going to see him now for sure. Okay, let's clean this stencil off. You know how I like to clean the stencil off. Right on my project. And now we made another little pattern over here. Perfect. Okay, then I have my wallpaper. Let's use my wallpaper. So if you've gotten the back porch collection or you plan on getting it this time, there's a piece of wallpaper in there. Not this one. This one was from a previous collection, but there is the wallpaper in there. So I want an orange because my pumpkin is orange. So I'm going to take, let's move this. I'm going to take my paint. This is fire starter. And I'm going to paint my wallpaper. And then I'm going to flip it over and make a mark on here. Okay, now I'll move it back in your sight, and then you won't see me paint. I added a little bit of water because it was a bit dry. So we just added a little orange color because of our orange pumpkin that we're bringing out. That was fun. Now, one other thing that I gave you is this foam. What is this called? Just kids foam. It's sticky back foam. You can paint it and then stamp it on. Paint the foam. You just cut out little shapes, put it on a piece of cardboard, and then stamp it out. All right, so those are a couple of the elements that have been in the back porch collection before. And now we need to dry it, and I'll read some comments. Jody, we read that one. Brenda says, great, thanks. I think we read that one. Marla says, I'm fast, but I'm very impatient. Yes. This gets it done really quick. You don't even think about it. I love it. I'm going to have to start saving my scraps. Yes, Gert, don't throw those scraps away. I'm so excited. I was just getting my supplies together. Oh, excellent. For art camp? Yes. Excited for tomorrow night, says Luann. I am so excited. I can't wait. The stencil really pulls it together. Yes. All of those details on the top, you just keep adding and it just keeps pulling it together. That's why you don't overthink the bottom. Hi, Connie, for art camp tomorrow, and I am using a raw wood board. Should I do a primer before? No. Nope, I wouldn't worry about it. And Lisa sprinkled. Thank you, Lisa. So we're going to make sure this is dry. This is good, guys. It's so good. That orange and white is so good. Now, don't go crazy on me, but I gotta make sure I'm not stuck. See, I'm not stuck. And we have a whole sheet of paper that we just made. And now I'm gonna take my charcoal pencil, which you can get off of Amazon, and I'm going to make some loop-de-doops. And then I'm going to just make some marks. That's all about all the different mark making. Okay. Now, what you would do is we're going to go back to our board. And we're going to, oh, I didn't get big enough. I'm going to have to piece some stuff together, which is fine. So I wanted to use this word that said garden right here. That was my whole thought process, but I didn't make it big enough. Oh, I was going this way. No wonder it's not big enough. I thought I had that planned better. Okay, so now look at this piece of paper. We just made this new piece of paper here, but do we like this? Or do we like this? Or we can even make it here. And then we're going to put this pumpkin on it somewhere. I think we're going to cut some of this off. So I'm going to cut it right here. You can make these as big as you want. And now we have another little strip of paper. Isn't this piece of paper cool? Now we could use that as a bookmark. We could use that for an ATC card. We could, I don't know, it's really cool. And then we're going to cut this piece off over here. And whoops, that is a fun piece of paper right there. It really looks Halloween-y. And then that's gotta come off. Well, this can come off the bottom here. So I know where I am. And then all we gotta do is glue this on and then take our sandpaper and sand it off. But all of these little strips are so fun. Okay, we made ourselves a piece of decoupage paper for the top of this. And then this is going to go on here like this. But we're gonna make sure that this pops off a little bit. But first I'm gonna glue it down. So I have to use my heavy gel matte medium and my liquid patina. And we're gonna wet this. The charcoal pencil is gonna get a little mad at me because it doesn't wanna be wet. Because I didn't seal it in. It's okay. It's getting sealed now. So I wet the paper and then I took the DIY decoupage, the liquid patina, put that down, and then I took the heavy gel matte medium and laid that down. And that charcoal pencil is going to smear a little bit. I'm okay with that. Had I sealed that in, it wouldn't have smeared, which I should have sealed it in. Okay, that is the liquid patina, and then here's the heavy gel matte medium so that I make sure it sticks to this surface. You don't want it going anywhere. You don't want it coming up. And then we're gonna seal it on from the top side. Make sure that all fits right down. Okay, liquid patina on the top. And then that's gonna have to dry really, really well. before I can sand it. So I won't be able to sand it tonight because that'll never dry. It'll dry enough for us to like see where we're at. Those edges are going to be gone. It's going to be a nice square surface. And then this needs to stick out a little bit. So I need to dry it one more time. Just enough to get paint on there. Like right here, I have a bubble. I'm going to force that bubble to go down. There's the heavy gel matte medium under there, so it sucked right down. So all we're doing right now is we're going to dry the surface. It's not going to dry all the way through. That is some really wet paper. So it's not drying all the way through. All right. This is so cute, guys. I think the light is shining on it. So this could be in your mixed media book. It could be in your journal. It can be on your gallery frame. So now this would go on there, but I need to make sure that this grounds a little bit. So we're going to go back to the weathered wood. I'm still a little wet, but we're doing it anyway, guys. I'm risking it, but you guys wait. You make sure that it's totally dry, and then you should probably sand your edges off and everything. So make sure that it's really dry. But we're going to go right over top. This is the watered down weathered wood. And then I'm going to take a baby wipe and pull some of that up. So look at how I stained that. I got to grab some more weathered wood. And now we're going to wipe it off of him. All I'm doing is I'm muting this down. You can still see under there. Let's make sure you can see it. I got Wilson's phone here. You can. And now I'm going to go up here on top. And pull some of that off. Let's water it down some more. Then you can pull off as much as you want. Now what we did is we made a nice backdrop for that. Look at that. Now this is where I want to put it. So what I'm going to do is really darken up underneath it. I'm going to ground it. right like that. There we go. Now I gotta wait for it all to dry. That was our project tonight. And then we even have all of these different scraps that we made. So you can make it as big as you want or as small as you want. Okay, let's remove this camera. Let's go back here. What y'all think? Are y'all still here with me? Is anybody a mixed media artist? I'm so excited for tomorrow, says Lisa. Me too. Becky says hello and DIY. Hello, Becky. Dee says, so good. I love it. Lynn says, can't wait to do this. I know, it's fun. I actually did it last week, Thursday, and I had so much fun when I made my paper for my collection, my art collection. What is it? Back porch collection. When I made it for my back porch collection, I really, really had a lot of fun with it. And it's right here. Like, then I cut it into pieces and then I made rice paper with it. So you get one 5x7, and it even has my last name on there. This is a public library card. It's from a library book. That's my great grandfather's signature on there. And then there's these two are right here. So these are 5x7s that you can use in your art journal. So they're already made for you. So I just made this whole great big sheet, this whole master board, and then I cut it into pieces. And it was so fun. It was so fun. So I can't wait for you to try it. Claudia says, wow. Carrie says, I love it. Thank you, Carrie. Not an artist, but I like doing multimedia. Well, there you go, Diana. You can do this. Jody says, love it. Marla says, I'm still here with you, DIY. DIY, Marla. Kurt says, I love it, DIY. Cynthia says, you are such an amazing artist. Love it. Thank you, Cynthia. That's sweet. Patricia says, hello. Hello, Patricia. And Alice says, like your take on this. Thank you, Alice. And Luann says, love it. So here we are. I got to hold him. Actually, let me take a piece of tape. Let me tape him on. I'm going to make that work. Maybe. Oh, the tape probably won't stick. It's not going to work. I'll have to hold it with my fingers, but look at that. So you could have made it a lot lighter if you wanted. I kind of made it more on the spooky side. Then if you want, here's a oranger pumpkin. Not so dark and moody, so that one really pops off of there. Isn't it cute? Like, look at it. Fun stuff. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Luann. And Lisa says, love it. Thank you, Lisa. Marie says, I'm sort of an artist, but I have never ever done anything like this. I'm very intrigued. Just give it a try. Just try it. Get your scrap papers. Get newspapers. Get pages from a magazine. If you don't, a jelly plate. If you don't have a jelly plate, this is a jelly plate. If you don't have a jelly plate, they're really fun to make papers with. So this is a jelly plate. My granddaughter used it last, so it's got a lot of paint on it, but this is a jelly plate. It's like jelly. And you can make images with it, paint images with it. It's so fun. She had such a good time, but that's why there are so many bright colors on here. That was her. I was keeping her entertained. Whimsy Wreath Design Company says, hello there, new to you. Welcome, Whimsy. Thank you for joining us. And Lisa said, hi, Connie. Hi, Lisa. Carol says, very cool. We'll have to try that. You will need to try that, Carol. Connie says, I like it, Connie. Excellent. Thank you, Connie. And Whimsy says, this is very cool. Thank you. Thank you so much. It is really fun. So this is the paper before I made it dark. So you could leave it light if you wanted. So that's how light it is before, and then I just darkened it up a little bit. So my white is no longer white. It's more of a muted white now, which is more my style. And now it's going to dry, and I'm going to glue that pumpkin on there, and it's going to be so cool. All right, everybody. I got a little baby out there that's waiting for me. He is getting way too big for me to miss his visit. So I am going to go and get a few snuggles, and I will see you tomorrow in art camp. And I can't wait for us to be there and paint a pumpkin together. Lisa said, great live. Thank you. Carrie says, have a good night. You too, Carrie. And Diana says, enjoy. Thank you. I'll go get some baby snuggles for you guys. And yes, be with him. My baby comes tomorrow. Yep. Have an awesome evening, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Jody. And Diana says, see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, guys. And until next time, happy painting.